Hi everybody, Professor Levi Alland here, and today I'm excited to talk to you about the Baroque period. So in your module, you're learning all about how the Baroque is elaborate and lavish, like this room of Catherine the Great's behind me. Gold is everywhere, kind of threw up on the walls, right? But I'm going to talk to you specifically about one artist. We're going to talk about Bernini. So I mentioned him slightly in the modules, but this is a real exploration of him as an artist and as a character. Most people know him as a sculptor, but what if I told you he also designed secret stage machinery? He shaped entire city spaces and created these things that really seem to breathe and come alive. So that's what we're going to explore in this video today, and you'll get a chance to experiment and play with some Bernini techniques as well. So let's talk about this master of illusion, Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Bernini was an Italian. He really focused on infusing movement and motion and emotion into his work. His work kind of bridges this idea of sculpture with an architecture and theatricality all into one. He uses chiaroscuro, which is that light and dark shadowing you saw with Da Vinci, and he uses it in sculpture. Creates these really exaggerated gestures, this very intense realism. He wants to heighten the drama. Remember, Baroque period is all about the drama. Bernini was a deeply religious man. He started sculpting at the age of 8. His father was also a sculptor and knew that he had talent. Bernini's Catholicism and his deep devotion to his religion helped shape his work as well as his influence on the city of Rome, which we're going to explore. He has a huge impact on this. His work kind of goes through periods of people initially loving it, then in the Counter-Reformation, people are like, oh, this is terrible, but now it's having a resurgence, and they're noticing what an amazing technical designer Bernini was. It's going to appeal to all of your emotions and all of these senses. Let's explore some work together. So before we go further into discussing Bernini's work, I do want to take a moment to describe Baroque theater. Baroque theater was a new way of approaching an entire encompassing feeling around the viewer. So you have all of this mechanical elements kind of moving across. You have the entire theater built to showcase the drama happening on stage. This is an example of an existant, which means still existing Baroque theater. You could actually go and visit in Austria. You can see the elaborate decoration on the boxes, kind of how the stadium seats were set up. Look up at the ceiling. It looks fabulous with frescoes and different plasterworks. The lighting is intimate to kind of highlight what's on stage. And there are levels in the back of the stage. And I bring that up because there's a really cool video I want to show you about how they create these senses of form in a Baroque theater. So the Victorian Albert Museum has put together a really amazing video that showcases some of the techniques that Bernini designed. So nothing of his still exists, but these are documented techniques he used and created for the theater. So as you can see, they created this sense of things moving in and out. So the clouds are coming in. Technically, they're using soundboards and talking about expansive spaces, right? But they're really focusing on the drama of how things move. So look at the rising of the lights, the multi-layers of the stage. You have a ship rollicking across, almost like a roller coaster, and mermaids in the front. So this is things that Bernini designed to create theatricalness and drama. And we're going to see that in all of the works he creates. So the first place I want to talk about this sense of change and impact of Bernini is on the city of Rome. So this is a mock-up of the old St. Peter's. And if you notice, it's a very Roman setup, right? It's got the basilica straight to the back, so that long building with a square in the middle. It's very angular, and it creates kind of this enclosed, tight feeling. So that's the way that Rome looked before Bernini got to put his stamp on it and that new Baroque change. So then Bernini creates this. So as you look down this long colonnade coming across, it's like arms are reaching around you and encircling you. So the idea is that God's love was encircling the people coming into the Basilica of St. Peter's, and they got to see all of these beautiful colonnades and straight forms. So when you're in it, you actually look like everything is straight. It doesn't seem like it's intense. If you stand in a certain spot, you really feel kind of this whole sense of being held. So Bernini's playing already with shapes and forms and kind of where can he turn things around to heighten the drama, heighten the emotion, heighten that sense of realism. So the first work I want to discuss with you is the Blessed Ludovicus statue. So in this work, Bernini is starting to play with some of those theatrical ideas. This is in a chapel, and located around this chapel, there's some deep flowing drapery on this. Remember, this is all carved out. We're going to look at it in detail in a minute. But she's caught in this moment of emotion. She's kind of caught in this moment of ecstasy. But do you notice the light coming in from the sides? So that light that you can see is actually from a window. Bernini designed this to create senses of light and movement because he wants to play around with this concept of shadowing. So you look at it a little bit more closely, you can really see how the light pours in on her face. And it highlights the movement of the marble. And look at the marble underneath her. That's all sculpted. That is meant to look like a rug, but it is actually just quarried marble and how he manipulated the forms to create this sense of emotion and drama and the connection that a viewer would have with this work. His next work that we're going to look at is also going to explore this kind of technicality and emotion. So you saw in our last work that Bernini treated his sculptures as a stage, right? He really wants to invite the viewers to come in and look and experience this work as a dramatic performance. He wants his figures to seem to breathe, seem to be alive. Perhaps his most famous work is the Ecstasy of St. Teresa. So in this piece, you approach where she's being hit by an arrow. It's coming in so close. The rays are shooting down. The colors of the marble that is used reflect the light from the skylights above. You can really see the intensity and the flowing of the fabric. This is this full audience engagement. I'm going to give you a closer view of how you can see like the ripples that are happening with that angel holding up St. Teresa's robe. So all of this again is made out of marble. So it's heavy, heavy material. Think about walking into a piece of marble or thinking of a countertop in a kitchen. But this has this sinuous nature and this real sense of motion and drama. There's some golden light that's going to shoot in off of these beautiful rays that are coming down that are made of gold to give you this drama again. So there's all these hidden light sources to kind of reflect on the concepts and that playing of the light and dark, that chiaroscuro that Bernini wants us to explore. So Bernini really invites us as the artists to create an entire theatrical experience for the viewer. How can you bring them in all of these different ways to experience the light, the dark, the sense of motion and drama? So now you're going to get to create that too with your own project. So here's this mini project you get to work with. For your supplies, you're going to need a white piece of paper, tin foil, clay, Play-Doh, whatever you have, and a flashlight. You can use a real flashlight or you can use your phone. And you're going to create your own Bernini-esque sculptures. So what you're going to want to do, I'm showing you all your supplies. I show you my Play-Doh. I'm going to show you some tin foil and how to create this. So imagine I just sculpted this flower for you, or I crumpled up my tinfoil into an oyster, or perhaps I made it an abstract elephant. So what you're going to next do is take your form, whatever you created, and you're going to put it on a piece of white paper. Give it a background too, which is why I folded it over. If I had a bigger piece of paper, that would have worked as well. And then play with your flashlight. So remember, Bernini's playing with those different ways that shadows move. As you put your flashlight in different spots, look at how the shadows are moving. Take a couple of photos of which shadow you like the best, or record yourself creating. You can notice that each form you create, you don't have to create multiple, you can create only one, casts really different shadows and thinking about how the light is coming in on your image. So if you would like to do that, you can explore and create this project. You will submit it to me the same week this assignment is due. There's a mini project assignment in your assignments folder in Canvas, and this is just an extra credit project and a way to play. I hope you've enjoyed exploring about Bernini, this master of illusion, and I look forward to talking with you soon.